Good morning and welcome to our Sunday service. It's Unity of Northeast Pennsylvania, and as always, we are a positive path to spiritual living. My name is Richard Pacheco, and I'm so grateful to be here with you today. And we continue our month on self-care and the importance of it in our lives. Today we have Lee rejoining us as he continues his talk on self-care. Next week we'll have Tanya coming in to do her talk, and then I'll finally be ending the series with what we call metaphysical malpractice or spiritual bypass. And just to give you a little bit of a quick preview, it's basically where we take a lot of the sayings, we take a lot of the things that we do, and we utilize it to more avoid rather than to work on ourselves. This weekend's definitely been something that has been eye-opening to me as well in my own self-care, and we talk about boundaries, we talk about the necessary things that we need to do to make us the best we can be. You know, we've all heard the talks on how, your glass has to be full before you can help someone else. And we need to work on that for ourselves. And sometimes we need to set those boundaries. So our meditation today will take us into a safe place where when we feel kind of pulled away from doing the right thing for ourselves because we feel we need to do the right thing for someone else, we want to find that safe place within ourselves. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go into a quick opening prayer, and then we'll follow through. So if you feel so moved, go ahead and close your eyes and just breathe into this moment, this time, centering in knowing that we are in the allness that we know as God. This good, this love, this joy just surrounds us, is all around us, and flows through us and is us. We know that in this moment we are grateful for being here with each other, that we are divinely called to this moment, whether we're watching this live or later on, to listen to the messages, to take what we learn and to practice them, because it is in that practicum that we are able to become the best person we can be. And it is through that and through all around us that we show our gratitude, we show love, we show joy, because we know that it's already done. And we say it is and so it is, and we let it be. And we affirm that with an ashe, so mote be, and an amen. Let us take a quick video on Knowing Who We Are by Lisa Nichols, one of my favorite speakers, and then we'll come back with our announcements.
That's your truth. That's what is. And then it's, what am I believing today? I remember there was a moment in my life when I was confronted with a past abuser. For 13 years, I was able to avoid being in his proximity at all. But I'd always walked with a little fear that I would run into him again because I travel the world. I'm on stage in Atlanta in front of 500 people, and at the very back of the room, I look up and I see this silhouette in the door, and I know that silhouette. And I just began to freak out while I'm on stage, but no one could tell because I'm a veteran at this. And I put my audience in an exercise, and I called my assistant, who's also my prayer partner, who's also my warrior queen, who's also my earth angel, and I was like, the monster is here. And she knew what that meant. When we wrapped the conference up, I was wailing from here, and she grabbed me by my shoulders and she steadied me and she said, what do you know? I don't care what you believe right now. What do you know? And she's asking me what's my truth. And I said, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And she goes, what do you know? And I said, the divine will never give me more than I can handle. She said, what do you know? And every time she asked, the answer came. Now, you couldn't have told me I had that answer right then. And so your truth is there, and it's available to you, and it's waiting. Choose me. Don't choose that past broken relationship. Choose me. Don't choose the lie someone told you that you weren't worthy of them staying. Choose me, unity. Choose me, truth. Choose me, divinity. Choose me, love. The truth sits and it waits. I've crafted my skill. I've cultivated my womanhood. I've matured, but it doesn't change the baseline of the truth. The same truth I had when I was 3 The same truth you had when you were 3, your light, your love, your divinity, your playful, like the truth is steady. And then you simply choose if you're going to give yourself permission to live in your truth.
So just a quick few announcements. Let us, again, I did send out an email. This time I'll send out a re-email with the actual date on it, but it is tomorrow. I am being ordained, and I am grateful for everyone who's been on the path with me, as well as those who will join us tomorrow, whether it be live or I'll be on Facebook Live. It is also the convention, so if you plug in early, if you're watching it on live, I think around 3:30 our time, you'll be able to join in with the opening ceremonies and all of that. Followed by the UWSI graduation, but the actual ordination will be at 5 p.m. Eastern, and we will be doing it live from the church as well, where I've asked Reverend Diane to be the one to place a stall on me. So if you can join us either way, I would be very grateful for it. And as I said, I am grateful for everyone who has been on this journey with me and who has helped me get to this point. So this is as much for me as it is for you guys. And as always, if you feel so moved to give to our ministry, you can always go to our website at unityofnepa.org. Use the contribute button. If you happen to be on your phone, just turn your phone lengthwise. The button will appear. If you're watching this on YouTube, on our main page, you will see a small P at the top. It's our PayPal link. You can click there and use either your debit card, your credit card, or your PayPal account. And as always, you can mail it in, and our office staff will take care of it. Other ways you can give, again, Amazon Smile allows you to sign up and choose your nonprofit. We hope that you choose us as your nonprofit. And then also allows you to lock in the place. So now I can go shopping on Amazon without having to think about it, and it always will give a contribution to the church. So I'm happy about that. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and affirm. And, I was thinking about this, and I said, even if we're moving to our more of a study group, these affirmations are more important now, not only for our community, but for ourselves. So the vision we hold in oneness, we co-create a world which is inspired by the practice of love, peace, and harmony for all. In fact, I want to change that word co-create to create, because we are the creators of our world. So in oneness, we create a world inspired by the practice of love, peace, and harmony for all. What is ours to do is to serve our community through affirmative prayer, teaching, and service. And when we speak about community here, we talk about not only our inner community within our walls or within our study group, but our community at large. What can you do just for today to help someone outside and let them know that through our teachings, through our prayers, and through our service, how can we help them? And again, the starfish story. We may not be able to help everyone, but we are important to that one that we do. And finally, what do we believe? That there is one power, one presence active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath as we now move into our period of meditation. And as I said, I want you to take this meditation and know that we are going to practice going into a safe space, a place where when the world doesn't seem to be working in a way that we want it, or maybe we are hard on ourselves, and I'm, very guilty of that, where we're hard on ourselves because of circumstances, because we chose a path of self-care over the path of helping someone else. And we begin to be hard on ourselves, but we want to go back into a safe space. So let's go ahead and just get yourself comfortable, kind of shimmy in your chair, or if you happen to be laying down watching this, and just make sure that, we're focused on this time and this present period. Let us just begin to breathe. And let's exhale that out. And let's again take a nice deep breath, filling in that abdomen, followed by your lungs and your chest. Just hold for a quick second, enjoying that oxygen, and release. Just letting everything relax and fall away. So I want you to think of a place where you feel safe. Doesn't matter where it is. It could be anywhere, like a beach, or maybe it is your own room. Some meditations have imagined being back in the womb, so safe and warm away from this world. For me, it's the log cabin out in the woods, off the lake. Just knowing that nature is there and the water just reminds me of the flow of life, and the cabin is there to protect me. So I want you to take a moment and picture all the details of this place. What does it look like? What colors do you see? What smells or any sensations do you get while you're sitting there? And the more detailed you get, the more you will feel safe. And with every breath, as you breathe in deeper, see the colors and the brightness and all the shimmering of anything that's in the place just become brighter with every breath. Now take another deep breath. And this time, relax. This time, take a deep breath through your nose and imagine that you can sense the smells around you in this safe and wonderful place. And again, take another deep breath. And as you relax and breathe out, feel the sensations around your body and acknowledge, how does it feel? As you continue to breathe, notice how your chest and belly feels right now. I want you to feel all sensations throughout your body. Do your legs feel relaxed? Does the rest of your body feel relaxed as you have nowhere to go because you are in your safe place? Maybe knowing that you are relaxed, move your head a little bit and just feel the sensations of calmness in your neck and shoulders. Maybe some of the sensations you're feeling is that your body feels lighter or maybe heavier. But just notice all the sensations in your body right now and take note of how this state feels. At times we may feel an uncomfortable emotion rise, and if it does, you can simply remember how it feels in your safe spot and breathe some gentle breaths. As we practice these techniques and noticing sensation in our bodies that you have learned, you physically change your body chemistry, making you feel relaxed and secure. Let's start by imagining the feeling of pride. We want to visualize yourself being proud. Maybe you see yourself in a Superman pose or another positive way of standing, knowing and feeling that within yourself. And if it makes it easier, you can do this by going back to a time where you accomplished something marvelous, something great in your life. Or you can think about when you were proud of somebody else. Just feel the sensation and pay attention to where you're in your body, where you notice it, and really sense its location. And let us sit with the sensation for a moment. Let's take another deep breath. Now let's experience the feeling of excitement. Remember vividly being excited about something, or maybe you became enthusiastic right now without any particular reason, and notice how that feels. But also again, notice where in your body that feeling arises, and feel any physical changes you notice. So let's sit with that for a moment. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's bring into our awareness the feeling of amusement. Can you remember when someone was really interested in you? Remember how it grabbed your attention. Let's begin to feel all the sensations in our body, and where do you sense this feeling? What is the essence of what you notice? Perhaps it doesn't feel like much at all, and that is perfectly fine. And let's sit with that sensation for a moment. Now let's focus on our emotional bank, the feeling of gratitude. Feel the feeling that arises when you are grateful. Do you remember a time when you were grateful for something? Also think about a time when you were grateful for someone. Be grateful right now. Where do you feel this emotion? Notice every sensation you can. Notice where in your body you feel the sensation. And let's just sit with it for a few seconds. Let's take another deep breath in. Now bring into your awareness the feeling of kindness. How does it feel to be kind to someone or do a kind act? Humans have always strived to be the kindest creature on earth, and this feels good for a reason. Without kindness, we would not get along well at all. So feel all the sensations you can that have come from kindness. Again, noting in your body where you are feeling any shifts. Now let's sit with this for 10 seconds or so. Feel good about yourself if you have visualized many emotions and feelings, and you've noticed where in your body they've come about. So now I just want you to relax and stop trying to do anything at all. Don't try to bring up anything in particular. Just let any emotions flow through you. Let them pass by as soon as they arise. Take the observer's view of what's happening and witness all the changes. You may encounter a feeling of beginning to swell in you that doesn't feel well, and that's okay. It's okay to feel all emotions, both positive and negative. So allow this wave to just roll on by effortlessly. Always remember that you can choose to come back to your safe place, feeling pleasant sensations and breathing toward them. By sensing the good feelings and allowing the not so good feelings to pass by, you change your entire body chemistry for the better. When you locate where these sensations arise, you get a better understanding of your body. So let's try this again, more quickly this time. Imagine the feeling of joy. Remember as many joyful memories as you can, all the way back to when you were a child. You could be experiencing your biggest joy right now, noticing in your body this sensation rising. Notice every change, allowing the sensation to grow, filling you. Let it get stronger. Your body is physically changing and healing right now. Now with this feeling present in your body, visualize your safe place again. By doing this, you are strengthening the positive emotions tied to your safe space. Visiting your safe space often can have a great effect on relaxing your mind and body. A relaxed body heals itself easily and naturally feels good. When we are under tension, sometimes it's very difficult to bring ourselves to a calm, relaxed state. By practicing the safe space technique every day, you will help convert these times or any other hard times that may show up. So let's strengthen our safe space even more. I want you to visualize the feeling of passion. Everyone is passionate about something, so find your passion and notice the sensation that arises. How does it feel? Do you feel pleasant changes? Where did you feel those changes? Let this passionate feeling grow, getting stronger and stronger. Good. Now let's go into your safe space. Bring passion with you. And let's relax here for a long while. You can always bring yourself back here to your safe space at any time, any moment in your day. So let's begin to bring our awareness back to this present moment, noticing the surrounding and becoming more alert. Take a deep breath in, and when you are fully present, I hope this meditation takes you into the rest of your day relaxed and refreshed, and that you practice this meditation on a daily basis. There are many groups that I belong to right now that are working on those sensations and knowing, both from a positive and from maybe something that's not serving you, where it's located in your body, and helping transform it into something wonderful. So, hope you enjoy your day, and let's go ahead to our speaker, Lee.
Well, good morning, Unity, and welcome to another installment on our series of all about self-care. And today we're going to be taking a look at self-care for empaths. In case you don't think you're an empath, it's also for everybody else that doesn't already know that they are an empath. And we're going to start by talking about energy, because you've heard me say it here and on the stage at our actual building many times before. But everything is energy. Everything that we think is solid, like these bodies and this chair that I'm sitting in, everything is energy. And how do we know? Well, scientists have actually looked into these things for us. If you look at let's say the nucleus of an atom, and you blow it up so you can see it with your eyeball. Say you make it the size of a pinhead, okay? If you made that nucleus the size of a pinhead, the nearest electron would be 160 feet away. And everything else in between would be space. So everything that we think is solid, like these bodies, this wall behind me, 99.99999999999 12 nines percent space. And that energy, right, is movement and vibration. And then there's the space in between, right, which is void, emptiness, or context. Where is it? Well, science to the rescue again. And quantum physics has shown us actually that space that's in between all those bits of energy that are moving around, like electrons and whatnot, all that space in between actually holds a great deal of energy, just a different kind of energy. And it's called 0-point energy. But the important thing to remember is that it's the energy that connects all the other energy, right? Because there's more space than there is of the electrons and things moving around. Energy connected to energy, both inner and outer. The bottom line is that everything is energy and everything is connected. And the bottom line is that science is showing us that just as spiritual practices have taught us, that everything is one thing, right? It's all one. And this is the understanding that's the foundation to experiencing and exploring energy healing, excuse me, of any kind, energy healing. But I want us to take a look at a specific phenomenon for the purpose of our talk today. So let's talk about the movement of energy. It moves in specific patterns, right? A certain vibration, right, equals the color red on the spectrum. A certain vibration correlates to the note middle C on a piano. And another way of expressing those vibrations is to call them frequencies. So think of a sine wave, right? You got a sine wave that goes up and down and up and down. And that's kind of the two-dimensional representation of a frequency. And it can also be, spiked, right? And moving around. And you and me as people, we are kind of like conglomerations of frequencies that express as a single frequency or a vibration. Broadcasting, so we broadcast as a unique, multi-dimensional frequency, right? Everyone is. And I say multi-dimensional, let's visualize this, right? So think of a long, complicated radio frequency. We'll choose 5097.10012385 7, right? And then imagine it as a two-dimensional sine wave with complicated but repeating spikes and valleys and curves and steps. So now let's imagine it in 3 dimensions. And what we might picture of this 3-dimensional frequency, 5097.001, blah, 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 is going to look like a ball, right? With all kinds of little spikes protruding from it in varying lengths and varying directions, right? And then let's add more complexity. All right, let's add the dimension of movement through time. So like an elliptical movement that it's making. And let's add colors. Maybe they're changing colors. And let's add a sound that this frequency that we're imagining is emitting. All right. But you get the picture, right? Frequency 5097.001238592, so on, is a wonder to behold. And because everything is connected by the energy of space, right? This frequency 5097.001, blah, 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 right? Actually, let's just get rid of the frequency number and we'll give it a name. We'll call the name Tracy. Okay. Tracy is constantly coming into contact with other frequencies. So just like a radio, Tracy broadcasts out, right? But is also receiving signals at the same time from all the other frequencies around Tracy. And they're all unique frequencies. Tracy can actually tune in to specific frequencies, just like you dial in a radio and say, I'm going to pay attention to this. And we do this every day, right? What we pay attention to, the work on our desk, or, say we're I don't know, writing, cooking, driving, you name it. But we are dialing into those specific frequencies to interact with them. Same thing, the unity of NEPA frequency, and specifically to Lee sharing on the unity of NEPA frequency, and we are interacting because we're capable of tuning in to all these different frequencies, just like an amateur radio operator, spinning and grinning as they go across the airwaves looking for people to interact with. Now, most of Tracy's interactions with other frequencies aren't even conscious. All right. Often Tracy is just picking up the vibrations around in the environment, and then unconsciously, right, resonating or sympathetically vibrating with those frequencies around Tracy. What do I mean by that? Well, it's like a violin. You have 2 violins, and you have one that's unplayed, but it's sitting nearby, and then you start playing the other one. The violin that's not being played will begin to resonate or sympathetically vibrate because it's tuned to the same frequency as the violin that's being played. So if you laid a hand on this violin that's not being played while this one is being played, you would feel vibrations inside, right, emitting from the unplayed violin because it's playing sympathetically, because they're tuned to the same frequency. Now, I know this all sounds and seems just a little bit abstract, right? What does this look like in real life? Well, here's what it looks like in real life. You walk into a room and you feel, right, the energy of the room. Whenever you're walking into a tense situation, right? When you're walking into a happy or a glad situation. When you're walking into a funeral versus a birthday party, right? You feel those energies and emotions, and just like that violin, right? You vibrate sympathetically. Um, Going to a rock concert, right? Or the atmosphere of a restaurant. All of these are examples of us picking up on the frequencies that are around us. We're vibrating sympathetically, especially when we allow ourselves to be taken in with the same kind of mood or the same kind of energy. And by the way, this is how groupthink happens. This is how riots happen, right? They get started and everybody starts vibrating at the same frequency, whether they're doing it consciously or unconsciously, and the next thing you know, people are storming the Capitol or whatever it is that, whatever the riot happens to be about. It's all sympathetic vibration. And some people are especially gifted, or you might consider them afflicted in this area of their life. And we call them empaths. All right. But everybody has empathic abilities and tendencies. So my question to all of you today is, how do you deal with the energy all around you? Do you unwittingly take it on as your own, right? I'm around sad people, and so I must need to be sad as well, or I unconsciously become sad as well, or I'm around happy, productive people, and so I am also happy and productive. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of the old saying is, it only takes one bad apple to spoil the whole barrel, because that's the way vibrations can work. If it's a strong enough vibration, you've got this room full of happy people and one negative person, that negative frequency, if it's strong enough, and if you've got people empathetic enough all around, are going to come down to that same frequency, and suddenly you've spoiled the whole barrel of apples that were once, healthy and delicious and ripe, with that one bad apple. So this is possible. We've just come out of 2020, right? And lots of things have been thrown at us, especially in the energetic world. But they've been thrown at us to generate fear, right? There's always been and always will be plenty of things to be afraid of, right, in humanity and in our past, present, and future. My question to you is, how do you maintain a frequency of your own choosing instead of the one dominating your environment? That would seem to be a powerful tool, right? Well, let me give you 3 ways that you can begin to practice today to protect your frequency, right? And protect is probably not the right word, but rather to stay connected to a frequency of your own choosing. And a lot of times we talk about these practices for empaths and we imagine being in a bubble or a sphere or something like that. And those are good and healthy practices, but that's not the practices I want to suggest today. So, number 1, it's a 3-step process, okay, that I'm going to lay out. Number 1 is to always remember that you are energy and everything around you is energy, and you are connected by energy to all of that. Now, what does that do for us, right? Well, it helps us to remember that energy, right, can shift a whole lot faster than what we perceive to be a mountain, right? So if we shift the energy that we perceive, or if we perceive that mountain is merely this frequency, this energy, then it becomes, this is where like magic work is done, right? This is where Jesus said, say to the mountain, be removed into the sea, and it will, because he was talking about dealing with it on an energetic level, not being stuck here with our 3-dimensional, everything is solid kind of view of the world. So remind yourself daily, I am energy, Everything around me is energy, and we are connected by energy. Secondly, is to stay grounded. Okay. Just like you would anchor your boat out in the middle of the ocean or in a lake or whatever, or just like a tree sends those roots, and that taproot specifically, those roots deep into the ground, that is an anchor. So we don't get buffeted around, right? Or ripped up and knocked over by every bit of frequency, every bit of energy, every bit of negative person or negative situation coming our way. It's not going to make us fall over because we are grounded in the present, grounded in the here and now, with our roots deep into the earth. So we're reaching down, we're remembering, so just to review, we're remembering that we're energy and everything around us is energy and connected by energy. We are reaching deep down and establishing firm foundations. All right. And then, actually, just like a tree, we're going to reach for a higher source. Okay. Reaching up toward a higher source, just like that tree reaching up to the sun to take in the sun's energy. And also, just like grabbing a rope when you're down in a hole, you're reaching upward, and so you can come up out of that hole. So those are the 3 steps. Remember energy. Everything is energy. You are energy. Everything's connected by energy. Secondly, ground down, firm foundations. All right. And 3, reach up to a higher source. Reach up to a higher source at all times, so you can be that straight, strong, and true tree that is the natural wonder of the world. And just to drive this home, then let's have a practice. So wherever you are, and ideally it would be in a nice seated upright position. But if you're standing and listening to this, or you're laying down, that's fine too. But we're going to, first of all, breathe. We're going to breathe together. So let's take in a nice deep breath in through the nose and let it out through the mouth. Breathing in the universe and all the goodness that is here for us. And on the out breath, releasing negative energies, that which does not serve us anymore. Breathing in divine light, love, and support, and wisdom, and releasing negativity, releasing anything that's holding us back, releasing fear. And now we come to the energy part. Imagine yourself, use your divine imagination, and for some people it's going to be visual, and for other people they'll take it in with their other senses, or just a feeling or a perception. But you can imagine yourself as a tree planted beside the rivers of living water. And it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining down. So we're going to reach our roots deep down into the ground. Reaching down, reaching down. See just how far that your roots can go down. Strong, firm foundation. The further your roots go down and out, the better your foundation for reaching up and growing and becoming even bigger. So we are grateful for this earth that we have to ground down into. And now we begin to reach up to our higher source. You see a ball of golden light in the sky. That's the sun. As we stretch heavenward, reaching toward our higher source. You can imagine those golden rays of sunlight, or you could see it as golden rays of Christ consciousness coming down and penetrating into our leaves, into our core, our trunk, and bring that all the way down to your roots. And then from the roots up, bring that nourishment up from the earth. Feel that stability as we bring up that earth energy and continue this exchange with the higher vibration of the Christ consciousness above us, grounding it down into our physical reality as we draw in the nutrients to stretch up even higher. If you want to add in a breath to this movement, as you inhale, imagine drawing up nutrients from the earth as you stretch up. And as you exhale, imagine that the rays of the Christ consciousness coming down into you, through your trunk, down to your roots, connecting heaven and earth. Because that is our place as humans in the divine order. We're the bridge. We are the cross. That in between heaven and earth. And just sit with that visualization, connecting the breath. Let your divine imagination experience the wisdom that is coming in through the Christ consciousness into you. Feel that you are truly supported by this earth, that you have a firm foundation. And then lock in this frequency into your favorites buttons or whatever it is you do on your radio. Remember that this is a frequency that I can tune into at any time. I can just jump into it while I'm driving down the road. I can definitely jump into it when I walk into a room full of negative energy and doubt, or maybe when there's anxiety rising up in me. I can consciously choose to tune my frequency away from the anxiety, away from empath overload, and into the frequency of being grounded and stretching up toward the Christ consciousness. I hope this has been a helpful talk for you. And I truly wish you all a wonderful week. Looking forward to seeing you all in person in July, whenever we begin our new Sunday practices, our new our new format. And until then, take care, and we will see you soon.
I love how that mantra transpires everything. We hear it in Unity a lot. We hear it in New Thought, and everything is energy. And my first interaction with that was when I was in business, and we had a speaker who reminded us that no matter what we did, everything was energy. So whatever energy we put in was the energy we got out. So definitely take that home with you. Remember that as you go through your week, and know that everything is energy, whether you're working on your finances, whether you're working on your love life, you're working on anything, everything is energy. Talking about energy, here's a point at our service, as always, that we can celebrate that law of joy of circulation, or the joy of giving and receiving. So if you have your gift in your hand, or if you've already sent in your gift, just visually hold it in your heart, and together let's affirm divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Take a deep breath in, and let's see those gifts just going out and doing the work it's meant to do. And we know it's already done, so we say it is, and so it is, and we let it be. And we affirm it with an ashe, so mote be, and amen. As always, let's bring our children to our forefront of our mind and heart as we bless them and say, we bless you, we love you, we see the divinity in each of you, we see you doing wonderful and great things. And let's end today's service with our prayer for protection as we affirm it for ourselves as well. And the light of God surrounds me, and we remind ourselves that we are light. The love of God enfolds me, and we remind ourselves that we are that love. The power of God protects me, and we are that power. The presence of God watches over me, and we are that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and I am divine, and so it is. And as always, I remind you that we are so grateful for you joining us Sundays live. And as Lee said, when you come in person, when we change the format a bit, we look forward to that day. I look forward to those of you who can join me tomorrow in person or online. And not just for myself, but I know a few other ordinants who have gone through some challenges themselves, and they've made it through the journey, and they're here to be celebrated. So celebrate for them as well. And as always, if no one else has told you, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I will see you either tomorrow or next Sunday.